Welcome to Medica Nova Wellness Studio. I'm Dr. Angelika Maria Koch with the educational videos about optimal health and the most innovative and holistic approach to your well-being. As I just completed writing a new online course called Integrated Mental Health, which is now available at my website medicanova.net, I also was working on the subject about addiction. So I thought this is a great time to make a video about it, and let's have a look how you can stop or quit smoking in the most natural and effective way. Now, in the description part below, you will find useful links to mindful meditations and mind-body practices, which are highly recommended here. So enjoy. To stay updated with more ongoing videos, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel, share and like it with your friends and family, and don't forget to have a look at my website medicanova.net at the online academy, where you will find fantastic home study online courses in first aid homeopathy, wellness coaching, integrated mental health, quantum healing, and so much more. And if you're interested in a personal health consultation, either for yourself or your children, contact me at health@medicanova.net. Now, according to Dr. X worldwide, tobacco use kills about 7 million people each year, of which nearly 1 million are due to secondhand smoke. I mean, that's a staggering amount. Smoking is also the leading cause of preventable illness and death, according to the World Health Organization. Smoking increases the risk of heart and lung diseases, diabetes, as well as certain cancers. But quitting smoking is tough. It's not easy because it's an addiction. So fighting this addiction requires attacking it on 3 fronts. We got the physical part, the behavioral part, and the cognitive part. In fact, studies show that combination therapies can double or even triple the chances of being successful here. Current evidence also proves that mind-body practices such as yoga, meditation, guided imagery may be very successful here, and there are. Breaking the cycle of addiction requires a rewiring of your brain to stop both the physical and the emotional cravings. The physical withdrawal symptom experienced in the first week or even the second one can be quite overwhelming, even quite severe. And many who start smoking again do so while the symptoms are at their peak. So that's the time where you need a support system, natural supplements, natural remedies, and also the mind-body practices. And it is tough to overcome also the emotional aspect and break the habit. You may be feeling angry, right? Or anxious, exhausted, you can't sleep, all of that. For some people, the toughest cigarette to give up may be the first cigarette of the day. For others, it may be the cigarette after your dinner, or while you drive with a car for many hours and you feel bored and there you are, you crave your cigarette. The sooner you quit, the sooner your body and your mind can begin to heal from the addiction. So what are mind-body practices? I know most of you know about it, but let's just take a minute and focus on it so you understand it, why it is related to quitting smoking. The mind-body connection has been studied for centuries by healers of all modalities. And in 2008, Georgia State University researchers declared the mind-body connection is not just a theory anymore. And in their paper, it was recognized how stress alters the immune system and how we fight the diseases. The mind and the body are intertwined in all we do. And the study of this powerful connection now also takes into account our thoughts, our experiences, as well as our choices. So our cells function according to their environment, and that is their external as well as their internal environment. Creating a balance moves us into an optimal state of healing and balance. Meditation, yoga, visualization, exercises, Tai Chi, hypnotherapy even, and biofeedback are all considered mind-body practices. And while they have been practiced for centuries, they're becoming more and more mainstream as research starts to show how effective they are in fighting disease today. Now, this is a very crucial aspect and insight for addiction providers. Or treatment providers, because addiction ravages the brain by redirecting our powerful neural reward system to prioritize the user's drug of choice over the survival needs those systems were created for, like, for example, food and reproduction. What does that mean? If I'm hungry and I reward myself with food, I get this feeling of satisfaction. Right? That's where the brain then produces dopamine to gives us this idea, oh my God, you have done really something well. Well, the same thing happens with addiction now. It goes on the same list like food or reproduction. That's a very dangerous thing to be. So at the core, mind-body therapies improve overall mental and physical health by improving brain function. But what are the benefits of quitting smoking? I give you a little layout now. What happens after you stop your first cigarette? And when you really listen to it and take it in, I hope you feel inspired to quit smoking. Now, during the first hours or days after your last cigarette, your body begins the healing process as soon as you begin quitting smoking. And some of the early symptoms will make you maybe feel a little bit worse. But if you hang in there, and that's where you need a good support system with mindful meditations, maybe your counselor even, natural therapies, supplements, homeopathic remedies, you will be able to kick this. So what happens after the first hour you stopped your last cigarette? Your heart rate and blood pressure drops, and your circulation begins to improve. 12 hours after, your carbon monoxides from cigarettes are dispelled from the body, increasing the oxygen levels. 24 hours after your last cigarette, the risk of heart attacks begins to decrease and exercise becomes much more easier. So when you go to the gym, you have more oxygen supply. You feel more motivated. 48 hours after you stop it, the senses of smell and taste start to come back as the nerves begin to heal. So suddenly your food tastes better, right? 72 hours after you stopped it, the nicotine levels are depleted, and this is also when the physical cravings reach their peak. That's where you want to have more food. That's where you maybe want to have more chewing gums or do something in order to counterfire the craving. That's when you need a good support system. 30 days after you stopped your last cigarette, lungs are healing and athletic endurance increases. 9 months after, your lungs have healed themselves and the ciliary, little small hairs in the lungs have recovered. 1 year after you stop your last cigarette, the risk for coronary heart disease is decreased by 50%. Yay! I mean, that should give you just a great incentive. 5 years after, the arteries and blood vessels begin to widen, lowering the risk of stroke. 10 years after, chances of developing lung cancer and dying from it are cut in half now. And the chances of mouth, throat and pancreatic cancer are also significantly reduced. 15 years after you stop your last cigarette, likelihood of developing coronary heart disease is equal to that of a non-smoker. Yay! And 20 years after it, the risk of death from lung disease and cancer drops to the level of a person that has never smoked. Oh my God, that just should give you a total motivation and go ahead saying, yes, I can do this. Now, conventional therapies for quitting smoking, you know about it. They're over the counter, from nicotine gum, nicotine patch, e-cigarettes, as well as over the counter drugs. Now, however, these products are not without risk, and some consider them controversial as they continue to fill the physical need without addressing the psychological and behavioral sides of a nicotine addiction. I feel like it's just a substitute, right? You still have the nicotine craving and you change it or substitute it with another vehicle. So let's go for the real healing here. Again, I would suggest yoga. Yoga is one of the most popular mind-body practices. You know, the holistic exercises that works, and to link the mind and body through a variety of postures and poses, and also promotes the desire to stop smoking. Exercise in general. While you stop smoking, you feel maybe irritable, angry, nervous, and exercise is a great way to move this stagnated energy. You know, maybe depression comes up, so move your body. Gets your endorphins going, getting your heart rate up, right? Go maybe swimming, walking, playing tennis with a friend. All this activity just also bring more enjoyment in your life. It also just opens up the lungs, right? So you have more breathing capacity, which is very important. Mentioned mindful meditation. Another study, of course, conducted by the School of Medicine and Public Health at the University of Wisconsin found that mindfulness-based interventions are beneficial for smoking cessation and other addictions through the reductions of cravings. You know what I like here also when it comes to mindful meditation, they combat the smoking triggers, and that's a beautiful part here. Guided imagery, it's in the same vein as meditation. Guided imagery here also creates just the feeling of relaxation. Also tools how to control and manage stress. And of course you need an instructor here, but I give you a little link down in the description part of wonderful guided imagery which you find on YouTube. Can be very helpful. Hypnosis is another one. I'm not familiar so much with hypnosis. I've done hypnotherapy as well. But as I said, for one it works and for others it doesn't. So that's really up to you. I definitely can recommend Tai Chi here. This ancient Chinese tradition is practiced today as a gentle and graceful exercise. What I like about Tai Chi is it is known for promoting stress reduction. It's also recognized for combating many of the withdrawal symptoms ex-smokers face, like improved mood and sleep. I really, really like that. Kundalini yoga is one of my favorite parts here, and here I recommend there's a Kriya or a practice called Satnam Kriya. It is recommended to practice Satnam Kriya every day for 3 minutes, even up to 11 minutes. If you have nothing to do, do that. General physical health is improved because all the internal organs receive sort of a gentle rhythmic massage from the exercise. The heart gets stronger because there's a rhythmic pumping up and down with this breathing exercise, and I just love it. It's very powerful. It works. In fact, watch one of the Novak's videos, particularly about Satnam Kriya. I put a description or a link down there as well. Highly recommend it. So if you have anything to do, do that. So what are the key points? Basically, the key points is smoking kills a lot of people out there. 7 million we talked about every year. It also, if you quit, you really give something, a gift to your health status. Not just your heart and your lung or preventing diabetes, just for your overall health, physical health, mental, emotional health, right? Optimal health, a quality of life, as life-affirming life. That's what we want to live here, each and every day. I would say conventional therapies with nicotine can only transfer your nicotine addiction from one, item to another, and that's not here what we want to look for. Start changing your diet, bring in a nutrient-dense diet. Start exercising, bring in mind-body practices, and create a support system around yourself. And I think everyone is able to stop smoking. I'll give you a little hint. I used to smoke when I was a teenager, and the only reason for me to stop smoking was getting pregnant. What worked for me. So find a motivator, find a cause which totally works for you and you believe in it, and then it will happen. You can do it. Now let's go for the supplements. I would bring in some essential oils. And quitting smoking, as I said, can be one of the most difficult things you'll ever do. The Royal College of Physicians of London actually report that health professionals need to acknowledge nicotine addiction is a major medical and social problem. They even say it's just like cocaine and heroin addiction. That's how strong it is. That's how much hold it has on you. Fortunately, nature offers ways to help reduce some of the stress and temptations here that come along with giving up cigarettes or tobacco smoking. Essential oils can be used to relieve some of the stress and the temptation that sabotage so many people once they declare that they have done with the cigarettes. Black pepper essential oil. Start with that. Many people consider black pepper essential oil to be the best option when trying to overcome nicotine addiction and quit smoking. Studies dating back to the 90s even show that black pepper is highly effective at reducing cravings when compared to other methods. So in addition, black pepper essential oil also help people to experience the greatest reduction in negative symptoms associated with nicotine withdrawal in studies. Worth trying it out. The use of this essential oil even helps to reduce the feeling of anxiety that goes along with no longer being able to reach for a cigarette. That's quite a nice description here, huh? So that can be huge if you're having a hard time, for example, backing away from the cigarettes on the emotional level. Now, what's the secret with black pepper essential oil? Apparently, the secret is that black pepper essential oil is so effective at reducing the urge to smoke that it gives this sensation when you put it on your chest. It's the same sensation that it creates in the chest as when you smoke a cigarette. It's this feeling of, I feel really good. So it's not a substitute here, it's really healing you, it's taking you away from that craving. I also would bring in roman, chamomile essential oil, lavender, peppermint or rosemary. Very nice ones as well. What I really want to stress here, do not take it internally. That's not an essential oil you want to take internally, but external applications. So mix it 10-20 drops of essential oil with a vegetable oil. I would say olive oil, sunflower oil, coconut oil. You have to find a binder. And then rub it on your chest and back of your back as well, I would say, around the torso area, the heart chakra, chest area. You can put 3 to 15 drops in the water, in your bath water. If you have maybe a shower, 3 to 5 drops in the shower head. If you have a room freshener, you want to maybe put 20 drops in 4 ounces of water, or a hand and foot bath. You can have 10 drops with about 33-35 ounces of water. Really effective here, and I would do that daily. Now, if you're looking forward to quit smoking for good, absolutely homeopathic remedies are a must here. They're a great option. Listed below are some suggestions about homeopathic remedies, and as you know with all my videos, I want to keep it simple because I'm talking to the general public here. We have about 4,000 remedies in homeopathy, but that's what I'm talking about. I talk about the remedies you can get hold of in your local health food store. Right? Nothing too complicated. Most of the practice here in homeopathy is that we don't combine the remedies with other means, particularly essential oils, but for this purpose and from my clinical experience, I do combine them. So they go hand in hand, they go very well. If you're in doubt and if you need a personal health consultation, please contact me at health@medicanova.net. I'm happy to help here. So we start with the remedies of breaking the habit first, right? Because there are other remedies which are indicated for symptoms which are caused by chronic smoking. So to break the habit, go to the health food store and get yourself a remedy called Nux vomica. And the number is 30. Usually over the counter you get 6 or 30. You're an adult, I want you to get the remedy 30. Nux vomica 30 is an effective remedy quitting smoking the habit, breaking the habit. It helps also in the detoxification of the toxic material absorbed from tobacco smoke. So it will help cleansing your lungs, particularly your digestive system. The remedy is usually prescribed when there's a headache, vertigo, when you stop smoking, you maybe have insomnia, you maybe have food cravings, definitely constipation. In general, you suffer from it. It's great for a personality who is a go-getter, right? Who works very hard, is goal-driven, and has not just the smoking addiction, but maybe alcohol addiction is involved, like gourmet food, and definitely is exposed to a lot of stress. Stressful work life, works like crazy. And smoking is almost a way to relax the nervous system. Usually the symptoms are worse from the morning and usually from mental exertion. Nux vomica is really fantastic here. Also during this time, you maybe feel exhausted, nervous exhaustion, particularly during the withdrawal state. And here I would bring in the biochemic homeopathic cell salt. It's a different kind than the classic homeopathy, but you will find them in the health food store. And that would give you sort of a pick-me-up feeling. It's a great pick-me-up remedy when you feel exhausted. In homeopathy, we also make remedies from the actual substance, what we want to get rid of. And here it's called nicotine. Nicotine 30. You maybe have to order that online, this remedy. Health food stores don't usually offer them. But again, this remedy is a great antidote to nicotine and removes the craving of nicotine. The same is related to a remedy called tobacco. It's made from tobacco. And it helps eliminating the toxins of a tobacco in chronic smokers. Now, usually if somebody smokes like a chain, smokes like a chimney in this case, often they have cold extremities, sick headaches in the early morning. There may be indigestion, there may be even vertigo. Often you see palpitation, hypertension maybe, dizziness, nausea, and they definitely have this confusion or this lack of concentration. It really affects the whole body. So it's a nice way how to quit that and break that habit. So what would be the protocol? Now, this is my protocol, right? This worked in my practice, and other practitioners have a complete different protocol. So I just can share with you what worked with me. So for the week 1, I want you to take Naxvomica 30 3 times a day. Morning, lunchtime, evening. And the idea is about 10-15 minutes before and after you take the tablets, do not eat and drink. Just put it under your tongue or on your tongue and let it dissolve. The week 2, I want you to go into another protocol. I want you to get the remedy nicotine 30, 1 tablet in the morning, and tobacco 30 in the evening, 1 tablet. And you do that for another week. Then week 3, you go back to Naxvomica 30, 1 tablet. Now you maybe want to go from 2 to 3 times a day, depending on your sensitivity. Week 4, you go back to nicotine 30, 1 tablet in the morning, and tobacco 30 in the evening. So you have 4 weeks. During this time, if there's when you have a day when you feel really exhausted, you can't sleep, or you feel like you need a pick-me-up remedy, bring in for a day or 2 the biochemic cell salt Kali Phos. Great remedy here. Wonderful. I would say 4 tablets 3 to 5 times a day, just for a day, and then go back to your original protocol. This is, sometimes you have to play a little bit, according to your needs. In case you completely blow through the roof and you get ragey and angry and almost a madness in you, Staphysagria 30 is a good remedy here, just for a day, 3 times a day, and that's it. But in doubt, please contact me at health@medicanova.net. And when it gets to these stages, I think you need a bit professional help here. Avena sativa is a herbal tincture, comes in homeopathic form too, but here I would want to bring it in as a mother tincture. We call it herbal extract. It's really effective for quitting tobacco smoke, and it removes the weakness and restores vitality when trying to quit smoking. So that's my protocol. And then I give you some other remedies, because there are some conditions which are related to chronic smoking and which are not talked about, because most men get very embarrassed about it. But I want to mention it here because it can be healed as well. If you are feeling, or that you feel like you can't pass a stool without the help of a cigarette, Caladium, Sequinium, it's like 30. You would have to order that online, would be a great remedy. So it removes the constipation of chain smokers. It removes the headache, the loss of memory, and other mental states of smokers. Caladium is a fantastic remedy for when you can't, you have lack of breathing. Breathing is effective, and definitely worse for motion, better after sleep. It also boosts up the testosterone level in men. Why? Because chain smoking affects the potency in men. It removes the impotency caused by smoking. Yeah, we don't talk about it. I know men keep it under their carpet, but it's a big deal, right? Another remedy on the same line here is like a Podium, because, again, it affects the impotency of smokers. And what happens when men have a problem? Then they feel a great depression. They have lack of confidence. And, they talk about, oh my God, I can't perform anymore. So it really affects their whole personality on all levels. And again, people don't want to talk about it, but This is important here, and I want to mention it because homeopathy can be very effective during these phases. Another small remedy which comes to mind is Ignatia Amara, and here it's again a great antidote for the bad effects of smoking. And here, interesting enough, Ignatia patient cannot bear tobacco, and patients have a great excitability and sensitivity about it. It's a great remedy when you go into depression, particularly if you during this time maybe experience grief, loss. Usually it comes with a sour taste in the mouth, sour irritation, neck and back problems are present as well, but you feel really depressed, really down, right? I also want to bring in Lobelia Inflata. I know lots of therapies, natural therapies, suggest that you can get it in a mother tincture, or we call it herbal extract. It's a great remedy for quitting tobacco smoking when the patients have a craving for tobacco, but they even can't tolerate the smell or the taste of the tobacco. That symptom can happen when you go through the withdrawal stages, right? That you maybe have a strong craving, but now when you even smell tobacco, oh my God, you know what it is? It means the body says, I don't want it anymore. You know, it creates an aversion, a resistance to the very thing you're craving. Happens with alcoholics too. When I gave them remedies in order to get away from the alcohol addiction, then they still feel the craving, but really the body, they don't want it anymore, and then they feel nausea even. So it's a great way where the body teaches you to say enough, right? So as I said in this video, I want to give you just some small hints and inspiration and motivation with great information, but also with some hints to say, I can do this. Quitting smoking doesn't have to be a stressful experience. And I said, with the right support system, you will be able to kick this addiction. For more personal consultation, contact me at health@medicanova.net or medicanova.net at my website. You shouldn't do this alone, right? It's a big deal. And, you know, people think like, oh, you know, it's just smoking. Why not stop it? It's an addiction. So as I said, you need physical support, you need behavioral support, and you need the cognitive support here, which is important. So till next time, much love. Congratulations in quitting smoking. So proud of you. Take care.